me. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Diddy. He only 2 times from the he out like a lack, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no capping it. No, ain't no capping it.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
From the 29, Rodgers. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. 7 yards there and a first down. The Packers at 3-4 on the year coming into play. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meeting?
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get it inside the 35.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run with and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And it bangs off the right upright. No good. and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you can see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry, and he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Jackson to Bateman there, first down Ravens.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Swings this out here for Cohen. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That's place to...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this group, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense court.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer first down. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he's got some space here. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I'd get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Henry again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. Rodgers now on first down. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped him. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On third down, here's Jones. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 58 yards. And the Packers are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see someone
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Queen. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Up the middle, Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 113 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to carry the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's going to have the Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Packers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with decent starting, only a couple completions away from field goal range. Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. A first down carry for Henry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free-possession game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 131 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out, because the current formula is not working. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
13. 13.
Running left, it's Henry. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They're going option play on 3rd down. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Geez, I mean, what more can you say about Lamar Jackson? We know that he's got the quickness and the agility, but, you know, if you wanted proof of his straight-line speed, look no further. They'll try and run for it with Henry. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Derrick Henry with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Ravens 34, Packers 14. Justin Tucker in the kickoff.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Able to find Lazard. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. Alan Lazard, 63 yards. And the Packers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, 39 yards. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this pass will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Rodgers going to throw. He hits Dobbs on the crosser, and he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Lazard.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
And Lazard's got it again. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
It's a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 at the Ravens 38-yard line.
From the 38, Rodgers.
He has it complete to Christian Watson.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 23. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Rodgers throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. And again, it's Rodgers. The quick slant caught, and it's a Packers touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Jackson now off the bootleg, sliding out of the pocket. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. The handoff running left, Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Play action. Now Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Second down, they go again with Henry.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
168 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Jackson. Fumbled it. It's on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Ravens,
they improved to 5-3 as they approach the halfway point of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slam